Happy Independence Day, my Nigerian people. Nigeria is officially 63 as in Agbalagba today. You see, this is why we can't continue to make excuses. People are focusing on where we should be by now as a nation. But you guys know me, I like to be positive. So I will focus on the positive things. Since we are doing by day, let's list some good things that happened between our last by day and this one. Happy by day. And then I will tell you guys some inspirational stories to ginger your spirit. First of all, Buhari is no longer president. Father, you have no idea. Hopefully, the new government will be better. We are watching them on Plasma TV. But let's get serious. Lagos opened the Blue Line Rail, which is now making it easy for people to commute from one point to the other. That is major. And then we had an election. It wasn't that rosy, but it brought in some young people as ministers and women representation in ministerial positions. In fact, in Kwara State, a 26-year-old lady, Rukayat Shitu, won a senatorial seat at the Kwara State House of Assembly. Alhamdulillah, Egbalontobi. You see, that is inspiring. And then earlier this year, a bill seeking for equal rights for women, men, and persons living with disability passed the second reading at the Senate. Now that is inspiring. Also, our very own Tobi Amusan became World, Commonwealth, and African champion in the 100-meter hurdles, as well as the meet record holder in those three competitions. My sister, I'm loving your natural hair, by the way. I need to send her address. Who knows her address? Help me find her address. Our women's soccer team, that is the Super Falcon, also won the African Women's Championship for the 11th time. Hello. And this is the third time that they have made it to the second round in the Women's World Cup. Now, a young lady, Ifeoma Amuchi, emerged as the best graduating student at Southwest University in Chongqing, China. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly, but Amuchi was the best student out of, guess how many? 9,500 students. Kai, we know book as in I'm away. Let's not even get into Nollywood, guys. You guys, you are doing well. You are making us proud. Have you seen Jagun by the Hello? Now, our musicians are winning international awards left and right. The video release, I'm not available. Hey, they know they see me, you did not see me. And then Auntie Chioma Nandi is now the head of Vogue magazine. That is British Vogue. As in, we are doing big things. Congratulations, Auntie. And remember, Buhari commissioned 7 road and housing projects just before leaving office. Even if they rushed some of those projects, we still thank the Lord. We thank the Lord. Also, Alhaji Aliko Dangote commissioned his refinery. I know, depending on how you look at it, it may or may not be considered a good thing. But guess what? It is providing job opportunities. And because people are moving there, development is moving to that area. In fact, another good thing is that Lagos State has gotten the federal government's approval to start the construction of the Lekki International Airport. Already, land value in that place is appreciating like crazy. Good for those of you that bought Lekki land when I was advertising Lekki land. Don't worry, I'll tell you about another opportunity today, so stay tuned. Also, did you see the new airport in Ebonyi State? Lord have mercy. Have mercy. I am so proud to be a citizen of Ebonyi State. And the rest of you need to catch up with us in Ebonyi. Now, keep in mind that if you live in Colorado Springs, there's Nigerian Independence Day celebration happening today, October 1st, at the Satellite Hotel, starting at 4 p.m. Come out and eat, and of course, come out and meet the mayor, Yemi Mobola. They will be there live and direct. So, like I was saying, we're making progress as a nation. It's just that we can always do better, there are so many things that I could talk about that we need to work on, especially security. But today, I just want to beg our government to do something about one thing, just one thing. The fact that doctors are still asking for police reports whenever someone is involved in an accident, or they were stabbed, or they were shot by robbers. You see, they say that in order for them to know that the person is not an armed robber, they need a police report. Do you guys know that a lot of people die in Nigeria every single day? Not because they were in an accident or because they were attacked, but because doctors refuse to treat them without a police report. I've talked about several instances on this show. One man was driving when herdsmen shot his car. The bullet didn't kill him, but because he was bleeding and they kept rejecting him from hospital to hospital, he eventually bled to death. Well, guess what? Another woman died last week in Abuja. Greatness Olufemi. She got in the wrong vehicle. Apparently, the people were armed robbers. And so they attacked her, they stabbed her, and then they left her by the roadside. A good Samaritan took her to the hospital, but guess what? Doctors did not treat her. In fact, they shut the hospital doors.
We are just in Metama General Hospital. Fortunately, we call one of the nurses we just met here. She said they cannot attend to her. They have their reason. This is what we've been talking about for the past few weeks, how our hospitals are dying on daily basis. Instead of them to quickly rush this woman and save her life, they are saying there are procedure and process, and they just lock their gates against us. This is what is happening here now.
Wow. That woman was not supposed to die, guys. But she bled to death. You guys don't understand that this can happen to anybody. Some doctors say that they do this because they get harassed by the police when they treat accident victims without police reports. But guess what? The Nigerian government in 2017 enacted the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshot Act, which mandates doctors and nurses to treat accident or robbery victims without police report. The only thing is doctors are supposed to let the police know within 2 hours of admitting such a patient. If a doctor refuses, they face up to 5 years in prison or paying 500,000 naira fine. Now, the problem is, despite this law, despite this act, doctors are saying that the police have continued to harass them, especially at private hospitals if they treat accident victims. In fact, sometimes the police will allegedly shut down the hospital while investigating whether or not the person that was treated was an armed robber. Head out to the law. Nigerian lawmakers, Nigerian governors, the president, ministers, this may affect you as well, or even your family members. And as we're celebrating independence, the sanctity of life has to be top on our list. I mean, what are we really celebrating if human life is not sacred? I don't know who to appeal to really, whether it's the police or the doctors, but you have to work together so that people don't continue to die because you are flexing. I don't get it. Nigerian police, I am begging you guys, please allow doctors to treat anybody and everybody. Even if the person is a criminal, you can deal with them later. Here in the US, they will arrest criminals and they will take them to the hospital for treatment if they are hurt. Also, Nigerian doctors, please remember your oath. On this Independence Day, as we're celebrating, you took an oath. This woman had plans for this month of October, just like you and I. And you could actually save her life. How could anybody watch her die? I don't get it. And she's not the only one. We have to uphold this treatment and care for victims and gunshot act. If you don't care about it today, tomorrow you or someone that you care about may be a victim. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So I like to share 2 inspirational stories with you guys before I leave. First of all, meet 22-year-old Hani Oyiza Salisu, an aluminium fabricator.
My name is Salihu Hana Oyiza. I'm 22 years old. I do metal work, aluminium. I use them to make kettle, pots, and many other things, including buckets. It don't reach like 12 years now where they work. I learn now from my papa when I did small.
Now this woman inspires me, guys. She's been abused left and right for holding a hammer and doing what some people call men's job. I don't get it. Can you imagine?
People feel come my life, they watch what they do. While others they gift me, it go be like, see what this one they do. You're not ashamed of yourself. You be girl, you the whole hammer. Waiting concern you and hammer. No go look for woman job, they do and more. Those people where they make that kind of comments now, they don't go feed me.
I mean, who even decides which one is men or women's job? I don't get it. So long as you're making money and it's legal, I beg, count me in. At 22, she's already taking care of herself financially.
I'm producing on a small scale. Sometimes I feel work plenty, keep them for house. When the things don't they expensive, like salad time, Christmas time, we get like plenty goods for house because they sell them during that time.
I'm sharing her story because one of the ways that we can empower our young men and women, I believe, is by ensuring that they learn how to make their own money right from the time that they are young. Amen, somebody. Even her parents don't have to worry about her.
The past 10 years now, I know they bother my parents to do anything for me. I dey pay my school fees. Like sometimes if they go even want support me, I go be like, I beg leave her. I was the one that sponsored my ND education and all. Like my dad can't even remember the last time he supported me with anything.
Parents, you see, it is very important, especially for the girl child. You don't want your daughter to get into the wrong relationship just because of money, and you certainly don't want her to have to completely depend on another human being before she will eat. In fact, men are also looking for assets. Nobody is looking for liability. Even if your dream is to become a full housewife, my sister, you want to be raising your children, you can still be making passive income on the side. Now, the most common way that I know is via real estate. And before I tell you guys about a real estate opportunity, if anyone wants to contact Hani Oyiza Salisu, please. She's active on Facebook. Now, my second inspirational story is that of Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. He's not a stranger. I've had him on this show before, talking about how to make money and so on. He wanted to advertise some land that he's selling on my show. So I said to him, Daddy, you are a pastor. I mean, how did you get into real estate? You know, he said in 1997 that he knew a friend that was selling land in Lekki, but Lekki was just coming up at the time. The whole place was called Morocco. So the guy was selling each plot for 200,000 naira. Dr. Olumide said he had 600,000 naira saved up. But he said that at that time, his focus was on publishing a book that he was working on. So he did not buy. But when he got to the publishing house where he was trying to publish his book, he announced to everybody that, they are selling one land in one estate like that, 200,000 naira per plot, in case anybody is interested. And then he moved on, he forgot about it. But many things happened around that time. Remember, Pastor Adeboye did a crusade the following year, Lekki 98. So a lot of people got to know of Lekki and so on. In fact, according to Dr. Olumide, there was a time when lands in Lekki was appreciating like crazy by 500,000 naira every week. So 2 million every month. Now back to our story. 11 months after he told people about the land, this was in 1998, I believe, he was trying to get fuel one day at the filling station when someone drove in a very nice car. He came out, greeted Dr. Olumide, and then he went back to his car and came back with a check asking Dr. Olumide, what name should I put on the check? I'm trying to write this check to you. The guy wrote him a check of 500,000 naira. So he said he was confused, like, what's happening here? So he asked this person, please, sir, how do I know you? And the man said to him, you don't remember me? I was at the publishing house the day you announced to everybody that they are selling some land in Lekki and you told us how to buy. This man said he bought 1 acre, 6 plots, and sold 3 plots, each one for millions of naira. And then he told Dr. Olumide that, thank you so much for telling me about this opportunity. It changed my life. And then he made a statement that, I'm sure that you must have a lot of money by now, sir, being that you were the one that told us about it. I'm sure you bought several. And I just want to thank you with this check. But instead of saying, I did not buy, Dr. Olumide said he just laughed. And then after driving out of the filling station, he said he parked somewhere and he just started crying. That, hey, Father. He said he cried that day, and that was when he made up his mind that never again would he miss an opportunity to buy land. You see, that was how he got into real estate. And he didn't just buy a few land. He said he started throwing all his money into real estate. And so much more that he now sells land to people. In fact, he's been selling land for several years now. He's been into real estate. So, I've been talking about real estate for years on this show. There are people who have taken the leap of having a land to their name. There are people who have bought plots of land. But there are still a lot of people who are not taking it seriously. Well, my people, here is another opportunity. Dr. Olumide is selling 20 plots of land in 5 different locations. In Abuja, in Ikorodu, Lagos, in Uyo, in Atlanta, also in Ofada. But he doesn't want me to mention the Ofada one because he said that they are almost sold out. But just know that he has 100 plots that he is selling. Now, each plot is $10,000, but that is if you pay within 3 months. If you don't pay within 3 months, you spend more than 3 months to pay, you have to pay $15,000. Please keep in mind. Don't say, it's only 2 days after 3 months, 3 days after 3 months. His 3 months is 3 months too. And if anyone is interested from within Nigeria, you also have to pay the $10,000 or the Naira equivalent on that day. And if you spend more than 3 months as well, you pay $15,000. Now, the $10,000 covers the land, documentation, allocation of papers, individual plot survey, deed of assignment, developmental fee, dual fencing of each plot. Please keep in mind that they will not put a gate. And 2 years of security and maintenance, free architectural structural design for your building if done within 2 years, and free supervision of your building project if done within 2 years. So the only thing is they really would like for you to develop that place within 2 years, or at least resell it within 2 years. If you decide to leave it beyond 2 years, you will have to start paying them for maintenance. You know, they don't want the place to be bushy because it's an estate. I did my due diligence before advertising for him on the show, but in case anyone out there is interested, but you still have questions, even if you don't have questions, but you just want to meet him and talk about this, I'm bringing him on the show this Tuesday, October 3rd at 8 p.m. Nigerian time. That'll be 3 p.m. in New York. If it's only 1 or 2 people that show up, then we'll be done within like half hour. But I just want to make sure that publicly you can ask him questions so that you can know whether or not you want to do business with him. But if you have been thinking about getting into real estate, especially Lagos or outside of Lagos, because he's also doing Abuja, Uyo, this is an opportunity for you. And the best part is he has promised that if anyone comes through me because they saw him watching this show, he will be the one to attend to them personally. He won't give it to secretary or anybody. He will be the one to pick up your call. So if you're interested, please click the link in the description below, fill out the form, and then you can go from there. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Happy birthday to Nigeria, and also happy birthday to our first lady. Guess what? She's the same age as Nigeria. You know too well, Madam First Lady. So did you guys click the thumbs button yet? Thank you so much for watching. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button and the bell button. Until next time, I must see you later. Peace out.